Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how I automated daily outreach for one of my clients. He's a local gym owner and he currently has leads leaving their email on his website. He's really good at getting the ones that book an appointment and getting them through his current funnel, but he hasn't really been in contact with the leads that are just expressing interest and nothing more than that. So what he wanted to do was create an automated daily message to them, really just giving them education, information about why health, fitness, and nutrition are good for their lives. And before we jump in, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Justin, and I own an AI automation consulting firm. I've been helping clients automate tasks from content creation to customer engagement, data analytics, and I'd like to teach you how to do the same. Starting off using an AI toolbox that I built previously. This toolbox is the connection between OpenAI and Slack, and then I have it set up on a cloud server so it's always available and running. I call this my toolbox because now I'm building the tools such as this AI assistant content creator that I can actually build on top of or within my toolbox rather easily. So if you're interested in this video, I do have a free course on how to get your own AI toolbox set up. It's on my website at automate.com. So follow along, and if you're interested, you can check out that course and then you can implement anything that you're learning from this video. One last thing I wanted to note is that I do also have an AI assistant available that helps me write my code and can also help you write code. It's very familiar with my setup and it can help you modify the code that I'm going through today for your own use case. So with that, we're going to go ahead and jump in. We're going to start off by working within ChatGPT itself and building out our prompts. So let me show you. Alright, so we're in my ChatGPT account and we're using ChatGPT 4, as you can see here. I started off by telling it it's a health, fitness, and nutrition expert. I gave it a goal. It's to create a sequence of emails to potential leads. I said, please focus on delivering informational content to try and motivate the recipient to join a gym. So now we're really giving it the actual context of what we want. And I'm also not wanting it to be direct because I don't want it to be a super hard sales pitch. We just want it to be informative. So just understand the intention and then please give me the first 3 topics you would discuss. I've learned really that it's best to start off with topics instead of going directly to the messages. This way we can actually have a lot of diversity in the topics that it'll cover. So it actually came with some really good responses. The first one is the fundamental benefits of regular exercise. Second one, understanding and overcoming common barriers to exercise. Third one, the importance of community and support in fitness. I've learned is that you don't necessarily need to be the expert. All you need to do is lean into what AI wants to do. If you can get it to start giving you some guidance or some direction or some outcomes on actually what you're looking for, that's perfect to build into your own prompt. So this is a great start here. The other part of this is really trying to build a tone or really giving it an idea of who AI should be. So what makes a personal trainer good? Please just list the top 10 things and use a comma to separate them. So we really want to not just tell it it's an expert, but let's see what AI even thinks an expert is. And this gives us some additional context. So certification and education, experience, ability to customize programs, motivational skills, communication skills, knowledge of nutrition and wellness. So these are great things to include in our prompt as well. Instead of just saying you're an expert, sometimes it's really focused on the task at hand as opposed to defining what an expert is. So I like to actually define the expert and build that into my prompt as well. So there we go. Alright, next we're going to jump over to VS Code where I have my AI toolbox already set up. For those of you that are new, I'll give you a little bit of a rundown and then we'll just jump in and start modifying our code. The first one that we're going to do is build a prompt where we'll take some of the knowledge that we learned from ChatGPT, we'll put that into our prompt, and then we'll ask for a few output topics. So let me show you guys. Alright, so here we are in VS Code. We're mainly going to be working out of this auto page, but I just wanted to walk through the main page for those of you that are brand new to this. This has all of our connections to Slack. It creates a Flash app, and this is ultimately what allows everything to run. It also handles events from Slack, so an event would be something like a message. This is generally where I've been working at so far, so you can see this event handler here. I've got it titled Handle Messages from Slack. And what it does is basically it'll take any text, which is an event within the Slack framework, and then we can understand which channel it came from. We can even get the Slack ID from the user. So what we're doing here is when we receive a message, what we want to do is have this auto function go ahead and respond. So say is a function that's built within Slack, and that allows us to actually respond. It remembers the channel that the message came from and a lot of the information that's pertinent to get that actual message to the Slack channel and to the response that we want. So that's the main page. As you can see, this is called auto. This function is coming from this auto page here. And as I mentioned, this is where we're going to actually be working in and where we're going to go ahead and build out our entire function. So we're going to go ahead and start, as I mentioned, with the first prompt. I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste from what I've already built out, and then I'll walk you through it. So the prompt input 1 is what I'm calling this one. This is the variable that we'll build out. And what I've done here is I said you are a friendly and experienced fitness, health, and wellness coach. And coach is spelled wrong, so I'll scroll over to there. And then you can see from there I said it's a personal trainer, but then what I did was just copy and paste everything from ChatGPT. So when we scroll back to ChatGPT, we can see that education, experience, ability to customize programs, so everything that makes a personal trainer good, we're going to go ahead and include that in our definition of what we're saying this expert coach and trainer is. The next one that we're doing is giving it a task. So your primary task is to create a sequence of summaries to individuals that have expressed interest broadly in health, wellness, and fitness. So we don't want to really hone in on the fact that they're expressing interest in the gym. We want to keep this very broad, just as we want it to be more of an educational piece. So what we did then was give it a few examples. So again, I just copy and pasted from here. You can see it's the fundamental benefits of regular exercise, understanding and overcoming common barriers. So I just copy and pasted from there. Some additional stuff that I said is keep the format the same as the examples and write a summary about the message. Don't write the message. And please keep them to 3 sentences each. We just want to restrict this from going on and on. So once we do that, we're going to go ahead and get a response 1. And then you can see we're setting that equal to this chat completions. And then we're feeding through this prompt input 1 variable. So prompt input just goes into our chat completion function. I'm not going to walk through this chat completions function. You can see that I have it imported here from our utility page. For those of you that are new, anything in our utility page, this will be something that I've covered previously. So I've covered the chat completions API and how to get that set up in the very first video I did. And then I've also in the last video had the AI assistant build out. So I'm just going to go ahead and reference those for now for the sake of not being repetitive. All right, next what we're going to do is have AI choose one of the responses. I'm going to go ahead and tell it to choose the second response. I noticed that when I have that first prompt and I have it run over and over again, oftentimes that first example will get repetitive, but the other ones generally will be a little bit more varied. So in order to refrain from being repetitive in our messaging outreach to new clients, I went ahead and said you can choose the second one. So I'll show you guys how to do that now. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste the code in here. You can feel free to pause it and type it out for yourself, but all I'm doing here is saying please extract the second summary word for word. So pretty simple. I'm then feeding in the response 1 into our prompt input here, and then we're getting response 2, and the same thing, we're just using this chat completions function and passing through now our prompt 2. All right, next we're going to use the assistance API to generate a message, mainly because it has a memory. So the chat completions, as you remember or recall or have learned previously, or if you're going to watch my videos, you will learn that the chat completions does not have a memory. You can give it a memory, which I'll actually go over in later videos, but the assistance API has a built-in memory. So we're going to use that one just so our bot does not get repetitive. This is the message that we're actually going to be sending to the lead, so we don't want it to look like we're just repeating ourselves. So we're going to go ahead and have it remember what it last said so that it will create something new, even if it's a similar topic. So let me show you. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste in prompt 3 and then have it create a message using the AI assistant function. I'll just walk through some of the changes that we made to this prompt. It's pretty similar to the top one, but the first line is exactly the same. The second one is slightly modified to say create a message instead of create a sequence of summaries. And then I've ran this before and I saw some things that I didn't like, so what I've done here is just created some additional language in the prompt to have it not do those things that I didn't like, such as including a header. So I just said, please don't include a header. And then I also said, please don't start with I hope. Some of the other things is we're keeping this to 3 sentences again. And then I've also added this in for anybody that's going to connect this to some sort of automated CRM or anything like that. We can actually have it just include a variable of first name, which can be replaced with anybody's first name. And then following up with including the response to, and then getting our message. So that's how we can do that. And I just wanted to let you guys know, for anybody that is following along or is interested, I do have a premium offering where you can get all of this code, which the utility functions will be set up already. And it actually includes much, much more than what you're seeing here. If you do sign up, you'll get access to my entire code base where you can see I've done quite a few things on top of this. I've basically built every type of AI assistant, and then you'll also see the structure that I built out to where you can have an AI assistant take on multiple tasks. They can respond in different channels. So for those of you that are really wanting to build a business out of this or really want to get a head start, that's something you should think about. If you do sign up for that, you'll actually get access to the AI assistant that I spoke about earlier, where it can actually understand this code and it can write it for you. So if you're seeing something you like here, you can just say, hey, will you build this? Except I want you to do X, Y, or Z. So just wanted to let you guys know that. But again, all of this I'm just giving out for free here, and you can continue to follow along with the AI assistant videos that I'll be making on a weekly basis. That was just a quick note. We'll go ahead and finish up by adding our last piece of code here. So we now have our final message, but now we want to have it actually send that to Slack. So as I mentioned earlier, the say function is something that's actually built in from Slack. This is their easy way of saying respond to that channel. So we're just having it respond with the text of the message, and that's it. All right, next I'm going to show you how to push these updates to GitHub, which will automatically trigger our cloud server to update, meaning our Slack bot will automatically be updated. The one thing that will be missing is having the daily reminder set up in Slack, so I'll walk you through that at the end on how to create a reminder in Slack, and then that will trigger our bot to automatically run on a daily basis so that we'll have that daily message. So let me show you guys. All right, so all we need to do is navigate over to the source control tab. We're just going to say update auto, and then we'll call this auto content. So we'll go ahead and push these changes, and then we want to stage and commit them. And then once we do that, it's going to kick off our cloud server to update. And then once that's done, I'll show you guys in Slack what that looks like and also getting the reminder set up. So, all right, we're now in our Slack and I've created this daily outreach channel. So we're just going to go ahead and set up our reminder in here. You just start by hitting slash and then remind, and then you can see it tells us what to do. So we'll select the channel, we'll say what, and then when. So we're just going to go ahead and say remind, and then we want to do this daily outreach channel. We're just going to say lead outreach, and then we'll say at 9 a.m. daily. And then it tells us that it's set up a reminder in this channel for every day at 9 a.m. And then that should actually kick off our bot to create his first message. So it starts out talking about proper nutrition plays a critical role in achieving optimal fitness outcomes. See what it does if we just say again. We can basically say anything at the moment. In later videos, I'll show you how we can actually specify that when a certain text is mentioned, that it will trigger the bot. But right now it's set up to just trigger anytime a message is input in this channel. So our reminder will trigger it no matter what it says, and we can also just trigger it whenever we say something. So it looks like it's focusing on balanced diet here within your fitness routine, personalized dietary advice from a fitness expert, exercise regimen helping you achieve better results. And I just want to see if it'll actually create something other than nutrition. So we'll try it one more time and we'll just say, hey Otto, can you please give us one more response just to let us know that you're doing more topics than nutrition. So let's see what happens here. Integrating nutrition with your fitness regime is vital for maximizing the benefits of physical exercise. It's doing nutrition again. What about if I hit it one more time? Let's see what'll happen. And there it goes. So it starts off talking about proper nutrition. All right, guys, since it's getting repetitive, I'm just going to update the code to alleviate that. A big part of what I was saying is we don't want this to be repetitive. We don't want to say the same thing over and over to the client. So I'm just going to do a small tweak here, and I'll show you guys exactly how I do that. All right, so we're back in ChatGPT looking at the summaries that we originally created. What I've done is said, will you please provide 3 more? I got 3 more, and then what I did was copy and paste this. I'm just going to show you guys in VS Code. So I pasted it in here. You can see I took the nutrition and fitness line. I also removed summary 1, 2, and 3. I just wanted to get rid of the order. And then I also added this one line here. So please understand that there is no order to the sequence. This may be the 4th or 50th message, so please be unique with the topics. And then one thing I wanted to show you guys before we push this to GitHub is that we can actually check to see if it's differentiating now, and we probably should have done this originally. So we'll go ahead and run that code there, and then we're going to run this chat completions code here. All right, now that that's done, we can go ahead and highlight response 1 and see the output here. So we're just going to check the second summary. This is the first one. And then we should see summary again. It looked like it was right there. So the role of sleep in fitness and recovery. So quite a unique topic here. Let's see what happens if we run it one more time. We'll go ahead and run that, and then we're gonna highlight response again. And then while this is running, I just wanted to let you guys know that we did decide to use the chat completion here just because it's a cheaper option once you don't have the memory, which the AI assistant has. That was the other option that we could have done, was have a built-in memory so it doesn't repeat itself. But we just went with the chat completion because it's a little bit cheaper, and that's done running. So we'll see what comes up here. And what we want is for it not to say that the role of sleep in fitness and recovery or anything to do with that. So we're just gonna scroll over here, and then we're gonna see this one says stress reduction and exercise. So entirely different, so I feel a little bit more confident with this one. So what we're gonna do is just push this to GitHub, and then we'll just say update auto for now. Keep it simple. We're gonna commit and push, and then once the cloud server is updated, I'll just go ahead and show you guys what it looks like in Slack just to make sure that it's fully working for us. So stay tuned. Alright guys, our cloud server is updated and live, and I'll show you how we know that. We can just go to render, which is the cloud service that we're using, and then we can see here on the events tab within our web service that it says deploy is live. So we're just going to flip over to Slack, and we are going to test number 1 that it's live, and number 2 that it's working the way we want it to. So we'll just go ahead and trigger it by saying hi, and then we'll see what it comes up with. Alright, so this one is talking about rest and recovery. That's pretty awesome. But the main goal here is we'll the second time talk about something different other than rest and recovery. So let's give it a try. We'll say hi to Otto one more time, and then we'll see what he says back to us. Alright, there we go, talking about something different, hitting a plateau. So adding in, asking ChatGPT or OpenAI really to come up with something unique, and also telling it that the 4th and the 50th, it didn't matter where it was in the sequence, seemed to have worked for us. So appreciate you guys staying tuned with me and doing a live session on getting it updated and making it work properly. Alright guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, go ahead and hit like. And if you want to stay tuned and subscribe, you'll be able to get notified when I come up with a new AI assistant, which is going to be every week. Again, I'm going to be doing things such as further content creation. I'll even take this to the next level and show you how to connect it to Gmail. You can actually do the same with Slack. It's super easy to connect to any CRM, to any email provider. So Slack has a whole bunch of integrations that make this super easy to do. I'll also be going over data analysis and using the code interpreter within OpenAI. I've also built some things out for customer engagement. So I'll show you how we can actually onboard customers, how we can create workout bots that can understand what sort of goals and aspirations you might have, any problems you might have, and then we can even build workout plans from that. So there's a whole bunch of stuff upcoming. I hope you guys stay tuned, and I'd like to see you in the next video.